Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John, Tommy's Top Picks, here to bring you your weekly flesh and blood market update. Let's just jump in. There's some stuff, a little down, but a little bit of up, and some good stuff to talk about. So let's dig in and see where things landed. Starting out with Mon Unlimited boxes, it bounced back. We talked about this previously. Let's see if it comes back, if this was an anomaly. I think it was. Again, I think we're just kind of floating in this channel here. But coming back up to 59 is pretty nice, I will say, because if you look back, there's 59 was a ways back. So we bounced higher than we were since August, it looks like. So pretty good. This may be a little bit of an upward pressure. I think Dust Till Dawn, Angel Aris are kind of the key factors there. I imagine we're still going to get some turbulence and some fight from macroeconomics, etc. But at least in the short term, we have a nice upward pressure, up 15.25% to 59 from 50. Moving down to first edition boxes, we have ARC is down 5.94% to 16.99 from 1800. I do expect these to continue a downward drift. Same with the WTRs and the older things. Some people are buying. I know that for a fact because I've seen it. But there's a number of larger pressures just kind of pushing people out of the market. Some emergency sales, I have a feeling, are going to start happening soon. Speaking to some economic data briefly, just to talk about this, there is a softening in the economic data around employment, starting to see some layoffs on some companies. If you do, X company laid off, 5% of their workforce or percent of their workforce, you'll find quite a few articles in the last few weeks about that, mostly banking financial sector because they did not hit the targets they thought they would this year or this month, this quarter, I guess. And there's a few in tech. I think Google was one of them, though I could be wrong on that. I think there's some in tech too. So anyways, point being that things are softening a little bit, not a huge amount. That ratio still is in the positive as far as jobs open versus jobs lost. So we're still at that, kind of waiting for it to come into play. But it will take a while, right? It's one of those things where the unemployment rate will not rise until after the firings happen. So these kind of firing news stories are kind of an early indicator that things are softening a little bit around the edges. Definitely not a giant drop. It's not a huge spike down or anything like that. So anyways, that being said, when that happens, less money to spend on cards, right? Economic nerds or whatever like card games and they spend their money there on Friday nights or whatever. Less so, that brings these downward pressures into boxes and such. That's a narrative that you can understand, although I don't know how true it is. Moving on, Uprising is uprising 12.86% to 70 from 61. Pretty nice. We haven't seen that in a few months since November, so that was around the time we saw it last. We did talk about how this might spike back up because it dropped down precipitously last week, and so just to kind of keep an eye on it. So we're going to keep an eye on it. This could be another one of those where it's like, up, down, up. This could be down, up, down, right? These things happen a lot. We've seen that pattern many times in the past with box prices. A little bit of hype happening around this, that, or the other. I imagine there will be some good hype as we get closer to heavy hitters. We're seeing the spoilers come out, so that's a big deal. Obviously, that's impacting where the meta is going to go, and people are reacting to that. I think that's most of what the market movements are. It's the Angel Aris, the heavy hitter stuff, and what people are seeing and expecting the meta to look like based on what we're seeing revealed. Which, by the way, some really cool stuff in that set. I have to say, I am more excited about that set than I was about Evo, and I think I was pretty excited about Dust Till Dawn. I like the Angels. So maybe as excited as I was about Dust Till Dawn. We'll see. But yeah, that's coming soon. And as a result of pre-releases in a few weeks, I think we will all be kind of in the new hype mode and see where that lands and what comes of that. Let's go down to Dust Till Dawn, 12.5% upwards to 80 from 70. Nothing really special here. We were here, 5 weeks ago. We've been bouncing around this channel the whole time. We've talked about it numerous times. We're seeing the same thing. I think it's a hype buying in and downward pressure of the general market. Worth noting, WTR first edition cases and ARC first edition cases are now no longer listed again. They keep popping up, disappearing at the same price point. I don't know what's happening there. I don't think anyone's planning on moving anything at that price. It's kind of baloney. Honorable mention to Monarch. It is up 4.36% to 344 from 329. Again, Angelaris, etc. And then Everfest is up 7.56% to 238 from 220. So we are at a point where it's a pretty steady upward drift. It's kind of hard not to note this, right? Because all the way back from, 199, it's just gone up, right? Yeah, it swung down a little bit, but mostly on the upward swing. We'll definitely take a look at that chart, but yeah, definitely interesting there. I did want to point out that one of the interesting things about heavy hitters, which may provide some value support, I don't know if they're going to cut the print runs or whatever, but one of the things that might be interesting if they don't manage to cut the print runs is the number of generics in there. Seems like a lot of interesting generics. I don't know how good they are. I am not a meta master. You have to look to the professionals and those sorts to talk about that. But generic attacks are usually pretty solid and useful. So I hope that helps keep the price up for longer and that sort of thing. Just speaking of that, there is a slight decrease in price, but this is pre-release where we see this. The price has come down. I did want to point out, so we'll jump over to it now. I went to the front page. Oh, hey, it's back. Look at that. I went to the front page mere minutes ago, and this wasn't here as a different ad, and I couldn't find it. But now that it's here, let's click on it and see where we're at. Okay, this is kind of bad news. There's 876 left, and we know there was 1,500 originally because it says right here, the exclusive promo. There's only 1,500 worldwide. So they've sold less than 700 boxes or kits, I guess, of this. I don't know if this is that big of a deal because, how many people really want the booster? The decks. I kind of do, but I don't know if I want everything in this. I don't know. There's definitely some sadness around this. It's like yell at one person for going under map, but then leave this. Whatever. Point being that these are not moving very fast. If you're at Flesh and Blood itself, you see Heavy Hitters is one of the top best-selling things, except when you look at it, it's all part of this pack. So it's not just the box selling. They're just marking it under the box, I guess, to show the traction of the box. I don't know. You can see some sold at 87 already, right? So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's warping the data, which I don't like. I like the data to be consistent, and this is definitely not that. So, anyways, it's worth noting that TCG players kind of playing a funky game here, and not the coolest thing they've ever done. I'll tell you that. And the sales price does not seem. The sales volume does not seem to be that great so far for Heavy Hitters, which is a real shame because it looks like an awesome set. Like every time we're in the Discord, right? Every time a card pops up in the Discord, we have the little news robot. I'm excited. The more I see the cards, the more I'm like, yeah, I freaking love it. The style, the art, the feel of it. I'm actually fairly sure I'm going to play one of these heroes, actually get into it again and play one of these heroes at least a little bit. I guess we'll see how it goes, though. But it would be sad if this ends up being kind of a flop at TCG Player because of drama or whatever, instead of it just being something everyone can get excited about and have fun with. But there's definitely some feels bad out there about various things. I don't want to get into the drama. I think it's silly across the board, but it's definitely a thing. All right, let's go look at charts. I think Everfest is a top priority. After that, maybe we'll look at Saman and let's look at Uprising just to see where that is being first 2.0. All right, so Everfest, Mon, and Uprising. Everfest first in the first boxes. Yeah, look at that. Look at that steady upward swing. And it's being reflected. That's interesting. I think Everfest might be running out, and we're just kind of seeing upward drive. It was the pinnacle of power. I think since then they've been down powering, and so these boxes are probably moving faster than any other box out there. I don't have the volume data, so I can't tell you that for certain, but I do think we're on an upward trend and will continue to be, at least for a short while. Now, does it come down and settle? It's possible, but it does feel like we're on a general upward trend with Everfest. Let's go to Mon Unlimited. That was the second one. Oh yeah, this is just chaos. Yeah, there's nothing to read out of this. Just wait, because the cases aren't moving, and this is just noisy data. We'll just wait to see if a trend emerges. That's a shame. I was hoping there's something more clear there. And then was it Uprising first edition? You're right. Okay, settled out, moved back up after a dip. This needs a little bit more time too. I'm just looking because this translates differently. The scale translates. So yeah, interesting. Cases have dropped down. This little bit right here represents that. That's how big a difference the scale is. I don't know if that's true. That's weird, but that's definitely what it looks like from this. So weird. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, this needs more data too, unfortunately. I was hoping for a little bit more here, but yeah, we're entering a very volatile, uncertain, noisy phase, so we'll just wait to see when we get more data on Uprising. Keep an eye on it as we go, as we do. Not much else to report today. I think Rudy's hyping Magic pretty heavily. I think, honestly, he's might be a little late to the party. I've said before that I've been selling singles and cracking boxes and stuff. It was pretty clear that EVs have been inverted on a lot of different products for a while. And so I really do think there's ARB happening in that market quite a bit. So it's going on. It does look like there's some good news there. I think it may be preliminary hype. I'm going to go out there and say that Rudy may, and I don't know, this is just total guess, obviously. Rudy may be surprised in a negative way once the play boxes come out. I can tell you, when I look at distro pricing, it is awfully expensive to get the play case versus when you got set and draft. The combined is now, way more expensive than either the set or the draft was before. They're more than the set was. I don't get it. I'm not sure why they did it that way. I don't think it's a good plan. We'll see what happens. I mean, I really do worry it's going to cause a major kickback again on these on this product, on the changes to the product. The collector boosters are way more expensive as well. I don't know what they're going to do to make it make sense. So I do think we're going to get a big backlash on Magic soon, just as it felt like they were starting to get things sorted out. That's my hot take. I disagree with Rudy. Big deal. We all have our opinions, and I have my data. He has his data. He has way better data. I know that, so he could be, totally be right. But keep an eye out. I'll talk about it more in future videos as we learn more and see the results, but that's where I am on that. Anyways, I hope you guys are out there cracking packs, playing games. You get to your pre-release when that comes up. It's a few weeks away. Okay, this might be a little preliminary, but get to the heavy hitters pre-release. Get out there, play some games of it. It looks fun. I am excited about the arena mode and see how that goes. And until next time, have a good one.